Hey, greetings everyone. Glenn Kellaway from the basement. Hope everyone's having a great day. It is Wednesday. That means tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Wednesdays live on my channel with Rob from Northern Revolution, Sam St. John, Jason Arsenault, and Alex from Beer and Vinyl. We're going to talk about the year ahead. What are we excited about for 2024? So please join us. We always appreciate you. I wanted to show some stuff I picked up over the last couple of days. I'm kind of excited about some of this stuff. Let's start with a band from the 60s. Not sure how many of you are familiar with these guys, but the Sir Douglas Quintet. Now, I have been a fan since 1965 when they released a song that one of my favorite songs from the 60s called She's About a Mover. These guys are from San Antonio, Texas originally, and made their way to San Francisco right around the time the psychedelic scene was just starting to kick off and the Summer of Love and all that stuff. So they were pretty ingrained in that whole scene. But their music is really Texas-based in terms of Tex-Mex, rock and roll, blues, rootsy kind of music. It's really identifiable from the great Augie Myers playing his organ, and Doug Psalm's great songs and vocals and guitar. The two hits that I was aware of in the 60s, I know they released other singles, was She's About a Mover, 1965, like I said, one of my favorite tracks from the 60s, and a song called Mendocino, which is a really catchy song that came out in 1968. So I had a chance to pick up a comp yesterday, Sir Douglas Quintet collection, because I don't have any of their their albums, studio albums, and not even sure how many they made. But man, this comp is good. I listened to it when I was driving around today, and every frickin' song is good. Like there just was not a bad song on this. There's 17 tracks. None of them are long. They're short poppy type songs. And if you've never heard the Sir Douglas Quintet, check it out. Check out Mendocino. Check out She's About a Mover. But if you can find this comp anywhere, highly recommend it. It's amazing. Now, 1990, let's move ahead. A couple of these guys from this band formed a super group called the Texas Tornadoes, who I was fortunate enough to see live when I worked for Mariposa Folk Festival. That included the great Flaco Jimenez, who, if you're a Rycooter fan, you know who Flaco is. Augie Myers from Sir Douglas Quintet, Doug Psalm from Sir Douglas Quintet, and Freddie Fender. Do you remember Freddie Fender? Wasted days and wasted nights. So this, they put together a band that was kind of rockin', country, bit of a Mexican influence there too. I saw them probably around 1993, around that time, but they were great. So anyway, check these guys out. Next, Ian Hunter. So I picked this album up the other day, did a video on it. You're Never Alone with a Schizophrenic. I've always been a fan of Ian Hunter. Not a huge fan that I own a lot of his discography, but I've got a few things. I got a live album and this, and some of the Mott the Hoople albums he was on. And listening to this, it's fantastic. The live set is great. The studio, I mean, that's a great album, You're Never Alone with Schizophrenic. Not a bad song on it. And the bonus tracks are great. This is excellent. So at the same time I picked up the Sir Douglas Quintet, I found this, Ian Hunter, Once Bitten, Twice Shy. It is a comp of a retrospective of Ian's career. And the first disc is called Rockers, and it's got like Once Bitten, Twice Shy, Who Do You Love, Cleveland Rocks, all that kind of stuff. The stuff that he's known for rocking out at concerts. And the second side is called Ballads. Now, I haven't listened to this yet. The one song that interests me is because we're doing the CD exchange, the album exchange, and Steve offered an album up for us for review. The Artful Dodger, which is a later Ian Hunter album, and he specifically mentioned a song called Michael Picasso, which is about the passing of his good friend Mick Ronson. And it is on here on a live version, Michael Picasso. So I'm interested in hearing that, but that's pretty cool. Next, Dr. Feelgood. Are you familiar with this band from England? They're what they call a pub rock band. You go to a pub and see these guys rocking out. Every freaking song is just like, kind of like a ZZ Top thing, and you're just like, it's just, you can't stop. Just the grooves are always there, and it's just great rock music. These guys were amazing, led by a guy named Wilco Johnson. I used Dr. Feelgood CD called On the Job. This is live. I was checking this out today as well. Again, like I said, short songs. There's not a song over like 4 minutes. Maybe, there's one 5.5 minutes, but most of it's just, and it just rocks, man. It's just great guitar riffs, great vocals. It's just, if you like good rock music, man, check out Dr. Feelgood. Great band. Next, I got 2 more things to show you. My buddy Rob, Northern Revolutions. Now, Rob is getting close to 1,000 subs. So please, if you're not subscribed to Rob's channel, Northern Revolutions, could you please go and help him out? Help my friend out. He's just an awesome guy. He works at hard as doing his videos. He does a lot of post-production. His videos always look cool. He always has great subject matter. He knows his stuff. He's well worth watching. I love Rob. Anyway, he turned me on to a Toronto band a while ago, because Rob's like the king of Canadian music, and they're called Whitehorse. Now, I didn't know these guys until Rob started talking about them. It's a husband and wife team by the name of Luke Doucette and Melissa McClelland. They put out their first album in 2011. This one I just showed you is 2015. Now, I've not heard all their albums, but I think if I recall from Rob, everyone kind of has a theme of the type of genre of music they listen to. This is kind of like, I would call it roots rock. Really good record. I went out and bought it as soon as I listened to it on Spotify. Gave it a listen. I bought it. Now, I was in the thrift store a couple days ago, and I find this, Whitehorse. And not only that, I find an autograph from Luke and Melissa, which was kind of cool. So I thought, I got to pick this up. Turns out this was their first album. It's self-titled, but it's also called 6 SIXO66. And, wow, loving this. Again, it's very rootsy, male-female vocals, nice guitar, it's just a really good friggin' album. And they do a cover of Bruce Springsteen's I'm on Fire that I absolutely frickin' love on this album. That's my favorite track. Fantastic. Whitehorse, if you get a chance to check these guys out, check them out. Last but not least, Peter Gabriel's new album, I.O. I've already done a video on it, already talked about it. I already included in my best of 2023 releases. And I have a bit of a change of heart on that. I picked Paul Simon #1 and this #2, mostly because Paul Simon's been with me for a few more months, and I didn't know if it was fair to put this at #1 after only having it a short time. Sometimes you get bored after a while. But I got to tell you, I cannot stop listening to this album. My wife and I went to visit our granddaughter and our daughter and son-in-law last night in Oshawa, Ontario, and we had about an hour drive home. Again, played it on the way home last night. I'm just going, man, every freaking second of this album is fantastic. This is the album of the year. It's absolutely brilliant. I.O. Peter Gabriel. Now, the reason I mention this is because I just picked this up at the used record store, the last release from Peter Gabriel before I.O., and it's called Up. I bought this for $5. This came out in 2002, 21 years prior to this. And as I'm looking this up to kind of see the date that it came out so I could talk to you about it, I noticed a little interview thing with Peter Gabriel where he was considering calling this album I.O. So this has been in his head for 20 frickin' years. I remember hearing this album when it came out. I didn't own it. I remember hearing it, whether I bought the CD and then traded it in, and not really digging it that much. But I thought I got to give it another shot. And for $5, I'm checking it out. So I got Peter Gabriel's Up. I'm trying to uh, be a completist with Peter Gabriel. There's probably maybe 3 albums I don't own that I'm going to be getting. He's got what? I don't know how many studio albums. This was his eighth studio albums. Maybe I just 2 I don't have. But anyway, Peter Gabriel. So that's it. I hope you appreciate some of this stuff. Check it out if you get a chance, and let me know. And please come by tonight and say hello, and stick with us, and comment, and carry on with us. Talk to you later. Take care.